Welcome to part one of Celebrities I've Met. You had a little brainstorming session with my wife last night to think, who can we start with, who can I initially talk about. I'm going to potentially go through my little hard drive of where I store my photos, because that'll give me more of an idea of who I've met, because I can't go from the autograph collection because it would just take me forever to go through them, so it's quicker to go through the pictures to see who I've got. But my wife was chucking out a few names to me, and it's like, ah, yeah, oh, yes, ah, yes. So I'm going to start with Nigel Benn. Now, Nigel Benn, if you are not British, or even if you are British and you're of a certain age, you won't necessarily know. Nigel Benn was a boxer. He was a heavyweight, no, not heavyweight, he was a world champion in the world. I can't remember what category of weight he was now, but he was basically known as the Dark Destroyer. He was really good. I'm not into boxing now, but back then, this was probably 80s, 90s, I'm guessing. Google it, and then you can see what he's won, who he's beaten, and whatnot. But I used to watch more boxing then because it was on ITV, and at that point, ITV boxing was free. Now you tend to find that a lot of these boxing matches are pay-per-view, and we don't want pay-per-view, so that's probably why I've gone a bit off a bit of boxing anyway. Not a pro-violence, like The Walking Dead. But there's sometimes there is a skill to boxing, and when they do the talk, like Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest there can ever be, sting like a fan, float like me, and all that. All that bit's quite cool, But having said that, I've met a couple of boxers, and they are really, really nice people. But the first one I'm going to talk about is Nigel Benn, because it's something my wife had somehow organised. Don't ask me how she did it, but I was sitting here one evening, minding my own business. Phone rings, and I generally answer the phone because it's always nearest me. And picks up the phone. I went, hello. He went, hello. Hello, Raymond. I went, hello. He went, it's me. I went, oh, hello, you. He said, and it's me. I went, yeah, hello. He said, do you know who I am? I went, yeah, it's you. He went, yeah, do you know who I am? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know who you are. He obviously knows me, so I've got to pretend that I know him. I don't know who he is. But he sounded familiar. He sounded really familiar. Thinking, who is it? When it's Mr. Benn. Mr. Benn? Mr. Benn. Now, again, if you're British, you know Mr. Benn. He's like, he goes into the old shop with his changing the outfits, and comes out of something else and has little ventures. It can't be Mr. Benn. He's a cartoon character. It can't be Mr. Benn. Mr. Benn, Mr. Benn. When it's Nige. It's Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn has rung me up. Nigel Benn has rung me up. So he said, I just want to give you a call to see how you're doing. I went, oh my goodness. He said, yeah. He said, like, your wife had emailed my manager, and my manager's given me your number. I thought I'd give you a call. I'm in England at the minute, because he lives in Australia. So I'm in England at the minute. He said, because my boy's having a fight tomorrow night. He was Connor Benn, and he's working his way up the ladder, as it were. He said, I'm over at the minute. I'm down in Ilford, which is near where we used to live, or I say we, as in me, because we used to come from sort of the Barking, Dagenham area. He said, down in Ilford at the minute, and I thought I'd just give a chat. And he's chatting away. He went, hang on. He went, shush. He said, it's just my son. Shush, Connor. I'm talking to me mate Raymond. Just shush. I'll come back to you. So I think, well, Nigel sent his son to say shush because he's talking to me. So and this conversation went on for about, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 minutes. I wish I could have recorded it, because it was brilliant. You can't record, when you're on the phone, you just can't record, can you? But it was really cool. And he was just saying to me, like, be positive, keep on looking up, keep smiling. Then he says to me, do you mind, he said, if I say a prayer for you? And I said, of course you can. So then he said a prayer. And this prayer went on for about 2.5 minutes. And I just said, that was just so nice of you. And he said, like, I'm always here for you, Raymond. If you ever want to talk to me, if you've got pen and paper, yeah, I've got pen and paper, here's my email address. So I've got Nigel Benn's email address. Now, in fairness, I've never emailed him, because I don't think I'll do that. It was just so nice to get that conversation on the phone with him. I've got the email address somewhere, not telling you where it is, because it's hidden. It's not even hidden now, I wouldn't remember it. But it was just so nice to get a call from a stranger who isn't a stranger, is someone really famous. just to ask how I'm doing. And it's like, well, have you ever seen Bruce Almighty 2? Is it the second one? The one with I forget his name now. The one when they build the Ark, anyway, that one. And right at the end of it, I forget his name. Morgan Freeman. He plays God in it, and he says the story of the Ark is. He said people misinterpret the story of the Ark. It's not about destruction and the flood. It's ARK, acts of random kindness. And I kind of think that's a good way of thinking of that story anyway. And I thought it is, like what Nigel had done was an act of random kindness. It's something that he took a little bit of time out of his day, but made me so happy. I was telling everyone. I was running up my mum, my dad, my brother, my sister, put it on Facebook. I was just so buzzing, you know. Nigel's run up me. So about, I don't know, 2-3 months later, my brother rang me up and he said, "You've got to go down to Romford," because he lives in Romford, which is sort of all that way away. "You've got to get down to Romford," he said, "because Nigel's coming down doing a signing. There's a shop in Romford. If you're in the Essex area, I forget the name of it now, it's in the Liberty Hall. They sell autographs, but every now and then they have in-store signings with boxers. And Nigel was coming down, so my brother said, "You've got to come down." I said, I'm there. So again, I'll insert a picture of what I got signed, which was a boxing glove, and it was signed by Connor as well. So I got down there, there was a queue of people there, but because I was in a mobility scooter, they was really kind actually in the store, and the people in the queue said, "No, you go first." And I thought that was really kind, you know, to let me go first, because obviously I had to try and drive in, and it's quite a small shop anyway. So Nigel's come up to me because his son hadn't arrived at that point. So he's come up to me and said, "Oh, hello, how you doing?" I went, "Oh, it's Raymond here." Raymond, I rung you up the other week. And it's like, "Oh, you've remembered, you rung me up." And I was like, "How you doing, mate? How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine. I just thought I'd come down to see you." He said, "I'm so pleased you come down to see me. I'm so pleased." And then we had a picture with him. Then his son turned up, so he had signed the boxing glove at that point. We waited for his son to turn up, then he signed it. And then, "Can I have a picture with you three?" "Yeah." So I was at that point struggling a little bit because I was in the scooter. I can stand, but I didn't have my stroller. At that point I didn't have a stroller, I don't think. Can't remember. But anyway, I didn't have the stroller leg because I was in the scooter. So I think, how can I stand up? I've got one, walking stick with me, and this could be a disaster waiting to happen here. So what they kind of did, and if you look at the picture very closely, you can see that both Nigel, Ben and Connor are kind of holding me up there to keep me upright. So they've got me picture and we're smiling. Then it's like, right, get back to the seat. Now I'm just thinking they're just going to kind of just leave me and I'm going to try and hobble back as best I can. No, Nigel and Connor were like, no, just everybody, hang on a minute, everybody, hang on, just enter the queue, hang on. We've got to get our friend Raymond back to his chair so he's back and safe. So they've sat me down. "Do you want me to move your leg?" I said, "No, really, I'm fine. No, let me just," he said, you're my friend. "I want to make sure you're back and safe in your thing," and then off you go. And it was such a nice experience. So anyone who thinks boxers are not nice people, they are. They're just nice people. And that's such a nice experience, one that's going to stay up there for a long while. Right, I'll tell another quick tale as well. We went to a sci-fi show in London. It wasn't quite in London, it was sort of outskirts of London. It's sort of drivable for us, and the London Excel Centre, if any of you UK people are there, it's a huge place. But anyway, we was there, and we had sort of seen who we want to see. I think that particular show, we met Anthony Daniels. I might come back to Anthony Daniels in another one. He plays C-3PO. And we was there to meet two other people. It was kind of like the people we wanted to see were from Doctor Who. So we was at the event, waiting for the guests to turn up because they were a little bit late turning up. And it's like, I said, right, we wanted to use the men's room, the little boys' room. So we asked one of the helpers there where are the disabled toilets, because they're the safest toilets for me to go in, really. So they said, well, you need to go at the back of the auditorium, go through the doors, find the lift, go up the lift, there's a corridor, head to the right to the corridor, and then there you see it. So we've gone up the lift, come out the lift on the first floor, wherever it was, and we're walking down, and then towards us we see someone's like, "Oh, it's you!" went, hello you, hello. And it was, she plays Gwen in Torchwood. Hello, we're going to see you later. She went, oh, lovely. So we little waved to her. So then we've gone and we've done our bits in the toilet and we've come out again. And then we're going back to the lift. And someone shouted, can you hold the lift, can you hold the lift? So we've held the lift, come in. And it's you. So it was, I looked down, someone will get her name wrong. It is Freema Agyeman. Freema Agyeman. I might have pronounced that wrong. I always pronounce it wrong. She plays Martha Jones, and she was an assistant of the 10th Doctor, David Tennant. So all you David Tennant fans probably know exactly who she is. And we had a little chat with her in the lift. And it was really nice. I can't remember what we talked about, but just like a lift chat. You know, when you have a lift chat, you just talk about random stuff and you don't know what you're talking about. You just, what nice weather we're having here, innit? Or whatever. So we said to her, we're going to see you in a minute because we're going to come down and get your autograph. She goes, I look forward to it. I'll see you soon. So we've gone down there. We found the queue. They said to us, just join the queue because we had see you was here earlier on, so you could just join the queue now. So we've gone up to her, and at that point I wasn't using a scooter or a wheelchair. I was just literally hobbling along with my walking stick. So we got Freema's autograph. She signed the autograph. She went, are you okay? I said, no, I just need a seat. She went, hang on a minute. So she said, help her. So one of the people who at the event came along and said, can you get my friend here a seat? So she's got me a seat, and I'm sitting here, and Freema's sitting there. We're just sitting there. So every time she's always signing autographs, then between the next person coming up, she's having a little chat with me. Oh, she's just chatting away, and it's like, this is really cool. I feel like I'm her buddy. So that's another little memory that stuck out. It's like just a sweet thing that, you might be famous from our perspective. From their perspective, they're just an actor doing a job, and sometimes they're just lovely, lovely people. So if you're watching this, Freema, I do remember that, and thanks for that memory.